the core of the New York Times coverage is accuracy, depth, and outstanding storytelling.
Times values are about integrity and about legacy and about being contemporary.
Bloomberg Markets prides itself on quality, in-depth journalism that's well reported and authoritative.
You know, business and finance coverage will always be at the heart of the Wall Street Journal. It's something that we think about every day across every time zone, across all of our platforms.
The magazine specialises and has specialised for decades in kind of in-depth reporting on the big companies, not just in America but across the world.
National Geographic's been known for 125 years for its coverage of the natural world, of environment, of science. And what's amazing is that these are the very topics that are right now in the middle of the conversation about what's going to happen to the future of our planet.
I think the core values of The Economist are that we provide a global view of what's going on in the world once a week and in a very concise form.
I think there's a sophistication that comes from expertise. So Bloomberg News has a tremendous number of people who know their subjects very, very well.
If I had to pick one project that I was especially proud of, I would pick Borderlands. This was a project that harnessed all of our global resources to chart a year across Syria's war-torn northern border with Turkey.
I think if you just look at this cover story on the future of universities, it's a classic Economist story. It takes a big, complicated theme that's quite hard to get your head round. It looks at it in a global way, it uses a lot of data, it attaches it to other big themes that are going on.
We tapped into Bloomberg News' reporter Tim Higgins, who covers GM as a full-time beat. And he had the trust of people who worked there, who understood that we weren't just out to bring GM down. We're covering business in a way that we want to be able to explain to other business people why things succeed as well as fail.
I thank my lucky stars to be working for a newspaper that still puts resources into these stories, and that allows me to spend not 2 hours, but 2 days and sometimes 2 weeks researching and writing its story and getting it right.
The combination of print and digital is always going to be a pretty fluid one, and it's one which is constantly in evolution.
Digital and print are increasingly integrated. We work to produce editorial that works both online and in the magazine.
1 million people a month using our apps, and it's just another way of getting the same information. So the product itself is actually platform independent. It's not reliant on a particular means of delivery.
Bloomberg Markets caters to the global financial elite because the magazine goes out to all Bloomberg Terminal subscribers. Our stories appear in a glossy print magazine that's distributed globally. We have an iPad app. The stories run on Bloomberg.com in a top slot, as well as on the terminal in a top news slot, so it gets maximum exposure.
When we had the tragedy on Mount Everest, we told that story in real time on April 18th when 16 Sherpas were killed on Mount Everest. But now this November, we're going to have a fantastic magazine story about exactly how that accident happened and what the fallout's been on the Sherpa culture.
Our agenda is still based fundamentally on professional journalists who are trying to tell a story, trying to get to the bottom of the story.